A Russian Su-34 fighter bomber crashed on Wednesday, September 20th. The accident occurred on the territory of Russia. According to the Russians, the Su-34 fighter jet went down in the Voronezh region of Russia. The crew of the plane allegedly managed to eject and was evacuated. Other details of the incident, as well as the causes of the crash, are still unknown. Russia calls the Su-34 fighter bomber the latest development, but the plane was created during the Soviet era and made its first flight in 1990. The Su-34 is a modification of the better-known Su-27, and its price tag is around $36 million. Meanwhile, at the front, in the recently liberated Klishchiivka, during the mopping up of the last street, border guards of the Steel Cordon took a wounded serviceman of the Russian Federation captive. Video with the story about the capture of the Kadyrovtsi soldier was published by the press service of the State Border Guard Service. The Ukrainian fighter said that the Kadyrovtsi soldier himself shouted to our fighters that he was wounded and at first tried to pass himself off as a former prisoner. An impressive video of the fighting up to the final capture of Klishchiivka by the Ukrainian armed forces. The look of the fighters of the Rage Brigade. Eventually, the captured Russians sent a message to the world. Near Andriivka, stormtroopers repulsed a forest belt. Soldiers showed how the approaches to Andriivka and Donetsk region were cleared. The video was published by the press service of the Separate Assault Brigade in Telegram. The video published by the military shows Ukrainian fighters going forward, clearing the forest belt from the enemy. Most of the dugouts were clean. Then the enemy opened machine gun fire. A firefight began. One of the Ukrainian stormtroopers turned to the occupier and offered to surrender as a prisoner. "Surrender, fool, you will live," said the Ukrainian fighter to the enemy. In the press service of the brigade noted that the Ukrainian fighters destroyed the military from the army of the Russian Federation, who did not want to surrender. As a result, the AFU recaptured a wooded area near Andriivka and eliminated 10 occupants. 8 more were wounded. The battles for Klishchiivka and Andriivka lasted several months, and both villages are now almost completely destroyed. However, they are located a few kilometers south of Bakhmut, which has been the site of fierce fighting for months, and could become a springboard for its encirclement. The consolidation on the Andriivka-Klishchiivka line is the starting point from which we can more realistically talk about further encirclement of Bakhmut. Defense forces began storming the positions of the occupation forces in the Bakhmut sector. According to the spokesman for the General Staff of the Armed Forces, Andriy Kovalev, the defenders have launched an assault from the southern side of Bakhmut. The enemy is being forced to give up their previously held positions with significant losses, while Ukrainians are reaching new frontiers and gaining ground. Kovalev emphasized that the Melitopol direction of the front did not give the occupiers any results during unsuccessful attempts to advance near the village of Robotyne. The occupiers were also captured on the southern front, near the village of Robotyne. This video shows a Ukrainian suicide drone crashing into a trench with a Russian soldier, but the drone did not explode. Then the Russian military started shooting at the drone to make it explode. Who was training these guys? In the Svatovsky direction of Luhansk region, we managed to record some losses of the occupants T-72B3, 3 units, T-90M-1 unit, BMP-3, 1 unit.